Okay. So, it's been a while since we've done a video, but because, we've had weather issues and stuff, so we're back and we're switching gears from conspiracy theories to true crime, serial killers, and stuff like that. And today, it's these two love them. It's Ted Bundy.
Same.
Okay then. So, I don't know much about Ted Bundy, so it's primarily going to be these two. So, take it away.
Theodore Robert Bundy. Oh my God. Do you know who Theodore Robert Bundy is? Because I do. So, Theodore Robert Bundy, who was a Sagittarius, by the way, is known as the Lady Killer, who just killed a lot of ladies. Just, he saw ladies and he was like, I want to hit that and kill that. And so that's exactly what he did. And to be honest, we can never fully be sure of the total number of victims that he had, because some of the bodies were never found. We just have to believe him.
I think it was like 30-some confirmed, right?
Confirmed.
And then he admitted to killing like close to 100 or something like that.
Yeah, admitted, but we just have to take his word for it. We don't know. And this was in about 7 different states throughout the 70s. And just so you know, the last victim was 12. So he wasn't that picky. But
Wait, did he go do everything he did with his actual adult victims with this?
Yep. Absolutely. I know. So when I hear that, I don't go, ugh. But the rest, I just put that aside. But no, not really.
Interesting.
Not really, no.
When he was actually executed 2 years to the day before I was born. Is on the day he died January 24th, 2 years before I was born, and I was born on January 24th.
You have the reincarnation of Ted Bundy over here.
Oh
Yep.
my God. But
Why do you think all my friends go missing?
What friends?
Exactly.
Friends.
Exactly.
oh wow, I feel attacked. Anyways, so Mr. Theodore Bundy. So Ted was a very strange child. It's reported that when he was 3 years old, his aunt was taking a nap, and when she woke up, she was just surrounded in a circle of kitchen knives, and he was just standing at the side of the bed, just looking at her, smiling. What's up with that? So, I mean, this is why you got to take mental health seriously. I'm sorry, but if a 3-year-old child does that while you're sleeping, then no.
Kids do weird things, but come on, man.
But, I mean, come on,
Damien over here.
And it's just... And one of the defining features of his victims, which this actually helps investigators when it comes to trying to find serial killers, is that serial killers have something that they usually look for. Unlike the Night Stalker who just killed whoever, his victims were young, relatively attractive young ladies with long, dark hair that was parted in the middle. That was his defining feature. And that's partly because that reminded him of his first girlfriend. So just that's pretty revolutionary when it comes to criminal science. Serial killers have something that they look for, and that's what causes the patterns that lead to their capture.
Yes, what I do know that when after that happened, after she broke up with him, I believe, he spent literally his whole life to revenge on her by dating her, getting engaged, and then dumping her after they got engaged.
The ultimate petty move.
The ultimate petty move, and
Pretty much.
And that didn't satisfy him. So he moved on to actually killing people who looked like her.
And it's just so amazing how many chances this man got, because, well, like I said, he was a Sagittarius, so he was instantly charming. Everyone has different tastes, but he physically was not bad looking, to be honest. And so people thought, oh my God, this charming young man who wants to be a lawyer in college, murder? No, that's not true. but alas it was. But even when he was caught, he was so smart, he was able to be free from then, because when they were first suspecting him and trying to get him on trial, he decided to defend himself. And then,
which is an interesting move.
I know, right? How that's allowed. Someone can defend themselves, and so therefore he didn't have to be all, chained up. And he had access to the court library whenever he wanted, where there was a window where he could jump out. So he just jumped out the window and was free for 6 days. So he was smart enough to get away, but was not very good at playing hide and seek. So, I mean, I don't know why. I just feel like he could have hidden. If he was able to get that far, I think he could have hidden better, but...
Well, he didn't stop killing after he broke out.
Mm-hmm.
He kept killing. If he didn't keep killing, I think there's a good chance he would have been able to.
Mm-hmm.
But also, he didn't switch his cars up either. He drove the same type of car. So if he switched up his car and stopped killing, he actually might have been able to stay free.
He drove a slug bug.
Yeah.
A white little bug.
I heard that he had a lot of weird crap with that car. Like, he took out the passenger seat.
Yep, he did.
He had an actual kit designed to kidnap and murder people.
Yep.
And it was a weirdly modified car. And the cop who pulled him over the first time didn't even question it. He saw everything. He was like, yeah, have a good night, and walked away. It's like, really? Really? I'm pretty sure there was somebody tied up in his trunk at the time.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
And, it's just the fact of, okay, so there's that, couldn't stop killing, and then I think, you know what, yes, he was good looking, he was charming, but I think the car had a big factor. It's like, you want a white girl, get a white girl car. And they're like, oh my god, that's my type of car, let me get in it. So maybe that...
I never thought of that. That's actually kind of a valid point.
So gentlemen, the art of seduction is to have the right car.
Oh, that doesn't work nowadays. You have a nice car, and it automatically is... Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah, you're compensating for something.
Yeah.
Shrek. So, I mean, not only that, but, okay, when he was arrested again and was in jail, he just went up through the ceiling, crawled to one of the guards' apartments, stole his clothes, and walked out.
Out to the front door.
Just no one questioned that. They're like, that face is familiar. Like, oh, he's wearing different clothes. That's not the same person.
Yeah.
Well, people in the 70s.
I heard, I think this was in one of the many documentaries that they've done about him, that several prisoners even said they could hear him crawling through the ceiling, but the guards didn't listen to him. They didn't check the ceiling. They're just like, yeah, there's somebody crawling around up there. And the guards didn't even give it a second thought. They just paid it no mind. So that just shows how stupid the guards were at the time.
And, he was very... Another piece of evidence that helped link him to the murders was apparently Ted had a biting fetish. And on the buttocks of some of the victims were his teeth marks actually engraved.
One of the Florida victims.
Yeah, was actually engraved on her buttock, and they were able to take dental records and match and say, these are your teeth on this booty.
Didn't he have, weren't his teeth kind of screwed up too? So, when they showed the evidence, it was they matched perfectly, and they wouldn't have if it wasn't for those specific, defects in his teeth.
Yeah, and everyone's teeth are, teeth are unpredictable.
Right.
I think it's rare that, I think teeth could be the same as fingerprints in that they can be similar, but there's always that little difference.
Yeah, there's always something different. Yeah, going back to childhood and stuff. His childhood stuff. There's another podcast that me and Christine started listening to. It's called Morbid, and they are, for the most part, primarily true crime. And one of the first episodes that we ever listened to was their Ted Bundy episodes. And it was a two-parters. So we were listening to it, and they had some stuff that I heard that I didn't know before, and it was all really screwed up. Like, his when his mom was pregnant with him, her parents sent her away to some school specifically designed for pregnant teen girls. So you can only imagine what she went through at that school, because at the time that was frowned upon to be a teenager and pregnant and not wedded.
And what's even messed up is that for a good part of his childhood, he thought that his mom was his sister.
Yep, he thought his mom was his sister until she eventually got married and moved away, and that's when she told him, was like, no, I'm actually your mom. You're coming with me.
How messed up what could be more messed up for a child? This woman, you think, she's your sister, you think your grandma's your actual mom, and to find out your sister is your mother.
It's weird.
That's a Tyler Perry movie.
It really is. Actually, it is.
Medea's Big Happy Family, same premise.
It actually is a Tyler Perry movie.
Byron thought that his sister
was his sister. Yeah, because his aunt was his grandma was his mom, and his sister was his mom. Is really screwed up.
So, I mean, I think that alone could just mess up a child psychologically, because...
Well, and not only that, there for a while, I think it's still sort of believed anyway, what am I trying to say? Okay, yeah, it was believed her mom could never give one answer for who the father was. It was always a different guy every time she was asked. It was always a military guy. But the description was always different. And
they checked the records, and there was never any guys by whatever name she said.
Right, there was only like one, and that guy denied even knowing who she was. And especially since he was actually deployed at the time that she said that they were together. So people started thinking, what if her dad was Ted Bundy's father?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Granddad is also dad.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
So right off the bat, like from before he was even born, you knew this kid was gonna be messed up.
Yeah, so people just treat your kids well, and like tell them who they mama is, tell them who they daddy is, so that they at least have some foundation to work off of. If they don't accept it, well, at least they know the truth. And, if your 3-year-old puts knives around you, that's not normal.
Take them to therapy.
Take them to therapy.
Immediately.
They could have been like, well, now Teddykins, it's not nice to put knives around people. I mean, just...
If I woke up and some child put knives in a ring around my bed, I'd just be gone. Just like, nope, not doing this. Yeah, mental health. Take it seriously. And children can have problems too. That's how it starts. Messed up children become messed up adults. That, and he also killed and tortured animals as a kid. He was still really young, still in like the 3 to 6, 7, 8-year-old range,
Yep.
He was killing and torturing animals, and that's the sign, supposedly one of the signs of a killer.
Yeah.
Every time there's a serial killer, they have one thing in common. All of them mutilated animals as a kid.
Pretty much.
Every single one. I've yet to hear of one that did not mutilate some form of animal.
It seems the common theme with all these killers are, first of all, head trauma.
Yeah.
I don't know if he had a head trauma or not, but
I don't know.
It's head trauma, hurting small animals, wetting the bed, and arson. Seem to be patterns, and they don't have to be in a specific order, and not everyone has the same ones, but those, are kind of things you should look out for.
I think it was believed he did set a fire.
I mean...
And they also thought that some people think that one of his first killings was actually when he was in high school still, and he killed one of his neighbors.
I mean, who knows?
Because his neighbor just disappeared off the face of the earth, never to be heard from again. And then I think he moved shortly after. So, that's not suspicious whatsoever.
I really hope my niece will not be a serial killer, because...
Watch for the signs.
What did she do?
She had, head trauma, first of all. So she was about 3 or 4 years old, and we were at a fair, and where was it? Hammond? Yeah, it was in Hammond, because you guys know that Festival of the Lakes when they have that free concert.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, we were in the fair part, and it was one of those rides to where you get inside, sit down, and there's this metal wheel where you turn it, and the thing you're in spins around. Well, she ran up in there and threw her head up and smacked her head so hard up against that metal wheel. The guy operating it said that it gave him goosebumps and the hair was standing up on his arm. He said, I have never seen a child hit their head that hard. And she didn't even cry. She just very calmly walked down without saying anything, no sounds, because it probably hurt that bad. And they never took her to a doctor to see, is everything all right in there?
She was probably, was it in the back of the head?
Yeah.
She was probably concussed. That's where concussions
Probably.
come from.
She was just very, didn't cry or anything because it probably hurt that bad. And not too long after that, I heard a knocking at my bedroom door, and I opened the door, and she held up this piece of paper and said the bunny died, and it was a marker drawing of a dead bunny. And I said, well, how did the bunny die? She said it didn't look both ways before it crossed the street. So I just, that's a little
unsettling.
Sorry, but that's kind of funny.
But to have a female serial killer in the family, that would be pretty badass. Like,
On the one,
hope for that, though.
I don't hope for that
On the
at
one
all.
hand, I don't want that to happen.
I
But on
mean,
the other hand, if it does,
I want her to be a nun, but like, but if she was a serial killer nun, how original is that? Look out, Eileen Mornos, your place is being taken. No, no. Everyone, please don't believe me when I say that. I'm just talking out of my ass. Just
nothing we say here is actually serious.
No, nothing. No. But
Anyway,
so Ted.
back to Ted Bundy.
So Ted eventually was found out and was given that lethal injection.
It was a long time afterwards because they wanted to try and find as many of his victims as they could.
Yeah. And R.I.P. to those victims. Those,
They were in such a brutal fashion too that it's just like, how can one person be this twisted?
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, like some people, if you say you've never felt this, you're probably lying. You've been mad and you get to the point where you hate somebody so much, just like if they died, I wouldn't care. But when you get butchered to that level, it doesn't matter how much you hate the person, you would feel bad with how awful they were just essentially violated. I mean, he violated all of them and then just beat the crap out of them.
There's also a big difference between I wish somebody was dead and I want to kill them.
That's true.
I want
That's
to take
true.
matters into my own hands.
Yeah, that's true.
No, the matters are in someone else's hands. Well, that's on
Even
someone else's hands.
Even if somebody kills somebody I hated, when it's to that, I would still feel bad. It's like, I didn't like them, but they didn't deserve to die.
And it's, even though Ted's been gone for a while, his cultural impact just has not gone away.
They're still making documentaries, writing books.
Zac Efron.
Yeah, Netflix just released, it was the Splendid, Vile, and the Wicked or something like that? Something to that effect? No, Splendid doesn't sound right.
Something wickedly evil.
Yeah, Wickedly Evil and Vile or something.
Wickedly
It's on Netflix. If you look up Zac Efron on Netflix, you'll find it. You'll find it.
I did watch it, and it's interesting. And I never trusted that Zac Efron. He could be another Ted, but not only
he's blown up recently. He's in like everything now.
Yeah, no more High School Musical.
No, I'm good.
They're not in this together anymore.
No, they're not.
So it's not just the documentaries about him, but other things that Silence of the Lambs. What's his name? Buffalo Bill.
Oh yeah.
He was inspired because one way, not only did Ted get his victims from being good looking and having a car and all that, but he would pretend to be hurt.
Yep.
He would either wear a cast on arm or walk around in crutches. And then when they thought he was trustworthy, well, that's when he would attack them. And that's exactly what Buffalo Bill did to Catherine Martin in The Silence of the Lambs. He was trying to get a couch onto the back of his van, and she helped him. And in doing so, she got in the back of the van, and he punched her in the head, knocked her out, and kidnapped her. Which, you have to figure, if someone has their arm in a cast, why would they themselves be trying to move a couch? Why? I don't.
Yeah.
It seems too easy.
And the fact that these people actually get in the back of the cars to help. It's like, you never, if somebody asks you to help move a heavy piece of furniture into their car, you should, if you agree to help, never be the one who gets in their car.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a smart move.
I feel bad for them because I know they're all just like me, dumbasses with big hearts. That's what I bet.
It's a shame.
It's like there's nothing wrong with helping put furniture in their car. Just don't agree to get in the back of their car to do it. You be on the outside and have them get in their own car.
And it's just, the fact of, okay, this person has their arm in a sling or something. Why would they themselves be trying to get a couch or a chair or something in the back of a vehicle?
Yeah, that right there
Like,
is just sketchy.
That's what movers are for. That's why you call up a friend and be like, hey, my arm's hurt. Could you help with it? Like, why do they randomly get a stranger to... It's just too easy. I know in the moment, you don't think... It's easy to not think of that, but in hindsight, that's just... seems so obvious.
You would think, like you said, like, and that's something else too. It's like, yeah, we say, oh, well, you should have thought of that. Well, then in the moment, they weren't thinking. It's like, oh, this person's hurt. I'll help them.
Because I know I would have done it. Ted Bundy would have got me. Because I would have wanted to help.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like us now. It's been years later. We can look back and be like, oh, well, that's stupid. I never would have fallen for that.
But
would you have?
Who knows?
Like, yeah, you don't know. You
Who
weren't in
knows?
the situation. You've never been in that situation.
Exactly.
So it's like, there are a lot of factors that you have to take into play when you're. Yeah.
Those poor victims, their kindness led to their demise.
That's really sad too.
I know.
A lot of them were taken from like really public places too.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of them were taken from like just a crowded beach.
Universities.
Yeah, universities, beaches. It's like it's out in the open. This guy had Ted Bundy had balls to do this because he got away with it for a long time.
Literally just parked at universities and saw the one that he wanted, and
Yeah, it's like, okay, I'm picking you. Can you come help me?
He was bold
Yep.
because he knew he could get away with it.
pretty much. Yeah.
Everybody knows that person that's like a smooth talker, can talk their way out of literally anything. Ted Bundy was that person.
And like he was also one of those really arrogant too. It's like he thought he was so smart. He could plan everything out and he wouldn't get caught. But he knew if he did, like he said, smooth talker.
The funniest thing is that the judge who finally convicted him was not buying it, because when he was defending himself, he was talking to the judge and was waving his finger, just like this, was waving his finger at him, and the judge was like, "Do not wave your finger at me, young man." And he kept it up and he said, "I said, do not wave your finger at me, young man." And it was just...
He was having none of it.
That judge...
Me, though, I'd be sassy.
Yeah, that judge was not having it.
Nope.
And he even said when he convicted him, he said, "It would have been a pleasure to have you defend people in this courtroom, but unfortunately you chose a different path."
Yep.
He was not giving Ted any breaks.
Which actually, his quote is the title of that Zac Efron movie. He actually, his own words were the title of the movie. So
Yeah.
if you know the quote that he used for whatever he used to describe the actions of what Ted Bundy did, that's the title of that movie.
Something wickedly evil. I hope you
vile,
all have a
yeah.
better memory than we do. So please, yeah.
It's sad 'cause
Look it up.
I've actually seen that movie a few times. I actually really like that movie.
I think it's just a long title for a movie.
It is.
It's
an oddly long title. Like, movie titles need to be short and sweet.
pretty
By
much.
Fallout.
Right?
Titanic. Who couldn't remember Titanic?
Yeah.
Don't make a movie title poetic and make you think.
Right?
That doesn't bring people in.
Yeah.
Oh, Ted.
Thank you.
He was a very screwed up individual.
He gone and
I think he deserved what he got.
he
He really deserved it. I know that sounds cruel and stuff, but
How's that cruel?
it's Ted
What he
Bundy.
did is more cruel.
Yeah, after
Exactly.
what he did, he deserved to die.
Good for
He,
that.
he got his cup of tea.
He had his cake and he wanted to eat it too,
Like,
and he died for it.
what if he's in hell and the devil has like long hair with a part in the middle and he's the one killing Ted
That's
every day?
That's Ted Bundy's hell. He's being murdered by the girl who originally broke up with him. That caused
Probably.
him to go into a psycho spiral.
Yeah, the devil just takes on her form and she just kills him multiple times throughout the day.
In the
every day
same
for
way he
eternity.
killed. In the same way he killed his victims.
Look at that face, y'all.
No, don't look at my face. I forgot I'm on camera.
Christine does not approve.
Okay, well, let us know what you think. And,
Yeah.
you know, even though, yes, we have a crap ton of people we want to talk about, we work for you. So just let us know what you want.
Yep.
So like, subscribe, and share this.
and
Love you all.
and also we are still doing the shout outs. I do have one for this episode. A buddy of ours, mine and Christine's, he is a digital artist, and
Ooh.
obviously it's digital art, so I don't have any of it up in front of me.
Mm.
But the links to his Facebook page and his Instagram will be put in the description of this video. It's Grizzle Bear Art, or is it Grizzly Bear Art?
Grizzly Bear.
It's either Grizzle Bear or Grizzly Bear Art, and it's spelled a little differently, so don't just look it up. Click the description links and you'll find it. But he is a very talented digital artist, and I know he sells some of his stuff too. Because if you look on his Instagram, some of his stuff is actually sold. So
Oh, wow.
He's
yeah,
got multiple pictures of me, and they're awesome.
Yes.
So what's the name of this again?
it's either Grizzle Bear Art or Grizzly Bear Art.
Okay.
It's one or the other. I'll show after we're done recording. I'll pop it up for you.
It sounds like it appeals to hunters, sports fans, and the gay community.
I mean, honestly, he'll
It
do.
took me a second.
Roy, ladies and
Love
gentlemen.
you all.
Alright. We will be back with another episode of our true crime, and the next one is going to be Charles Manson. So we'll see you guys later. Like Roy said, like, subscribe, and
Say your prayers and moisturize.
always moisturize. Alright, see you guys later.